Hi and welcome to Rainy Day Crafting. Okay, I did a wedding card a couple of days ago, I think Tuesday. Today's Thursday. So the plan is I'm going to do another wedding. I'm going to try and do sort of Tuesdays and Thursdays, release a video, but maybe have a theme each week, if that makes sense. Maybe the what's person. Okay, weddings can be all the year round, can't they? But I was supposed to be, I was supposed to be going to a wedding tomorrow. And would you believe it? I had to be cancelled down to that COVID, no less, which is such a shame. But anyway, it's all planned for the following week, fingers crossed. So what I first of all want to show you, if you're starting out in crafting, it can, be daunting. It can be really expensive, can't it? You don't have to have everything that's on the market at all, and if you see an idea, say in a card I make, you can adapt it. I think that's the biggest thing I want to say to you. Okay, a wedding card's a wedding card, but use all the different bits and pieces that you actually have potentially. Okay, because I think we can all get carried away with thinking, got to have all that's on the market. Okay, occasionally you see certain things and think, oh no, I really like that, and you buy it. But what I just want to say too is these, now there's 13 of these here. I don't know how well you can see them, all different. The make is Dysire. Anyway, look at these Christmas ones, all sorts. Wedding, oh, that's a cup of tea one. I love sewing, which obviously my channel being Rainy Day Crafting, I plan to do sewing these different bits and show you different ideas, but that'll probably be with cards a little bit. But I've got lots of ideas I want to show you. Wedding-y stuff, because obviously we've got golf, wedding-y, just a design really, a chandelier. Oh, it's got bride written down there. This one's lovely with tennis. Anyone for tennis? On this fishing one, I did try this out there. Look, that sort of size. So on a card, standing up is brilliant. Obviously, it's not. I'm doing a wedding day card today. But what I want to then tell you is nothing like where I was saying about don't go out and buy anything. I don't know how well you can see this here. I bought or bid for them and won. This is back in July, 10th of July. I got these 13 dies, and some of them haven't even been opened. I don't know how well you can see. 13 dies, £8.50. So, okay, there might not be all ones that you would, if you went into a shop and bought them. But sometimes you will find, even this time of year, people want to give up. So there are some bargains to be had, is what I really wanted to say to you. Anyway, this is the one I'm going to use, or the shoe of it, all right? But like I say, some of these, I don't know how well you can see, have not even been opened, so absolute bargain. And I can honestly say I've invested in a number of bargains, but I'm going to try, famous last words, to not necessarily buy anything. Well, I'm going to see how long I can go. I would have already spent by this time with all the sales and things online and things, but no craft stuff is my plan. Anyway, so my regular size card, my 6x6, I think I've shown you before which one it is, but I mean, obviously, you'll be doing whatever card size you want. So what I'm going to do, I keep some of my dies like this. I try and show you how I store things. They've gone a bit muddly. Obviously, there's all the circle ones, and there's the hearts, the nesting dies where you get a number that all go down in sizes. Okay, so what I've done is taken out this size. So there we have on the card. It is stitched, although in this case it will show, but not actually on the front of the card. Okay, but so if you were then putting it on top, how do I explain that? One I've cut out earlier. Here we are. You can do a couple and cut it so it just gives like the lovely edge, but I'm just doing the one, and this is actually the one that I cut out earlier. So can you sort of see it's got the stitching, but we'll be using that. So that's those. So I'm not going to sort of show you all the process bit by bit. I'll sort of show you, and then hopefully you'll get the gist big time. So right, my big shot is as much as anything for me is trying to give you some tips too. So what you'll be doing is opening your card. Remember which side it's going to be, and I'm putting that, as I say, on the H. Okay, so it's sort of a bit like that. Yeah. So I'll be putting all my in there, and here you can see where I've done one earlier. I've got some of this foam packaging. Use what you have, because I've sort of mucked about with my plates a little bit. Although this is textured, you don't necessarily want it to ruin this the front of your card. So on like this. And back again. Now the next procedure I'm going to tell you as opposed to show you, and sort of give you an idea of one I done earlier. So look how well this cuts this out. Perfect. Yep, so that's your card like that. Yeah, but remember, if you haven't got hearts, I mean, you know, weddings don't all have to be hearts. You can do it in circles. You can do it, you know, if you're already crafting, see what you've got in your stash generally. Okay, so that I out the, whoops, out of the way. So now let's have them out of the way too. What I then did, I then with this, okay, let's move that out of the way so you know that that's that. What I then did is popped that back through, okay, like that, yeah, and back, just straight back through my machine, and then it comes out looking like da-da, like that. Okay, people think, oh, that's no good. But what I then done is then, can you see, this is a scrappy bit of card, some card, does it come with some, just a sort of very pale blue. So what I did, I put the die back through and just cut this out on its own. It doesn't cut the whole thing out sort of precisely, but it leaves like that. So if you want to, for example, have that poking up from a card, that was how, you know, you could do it. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Yeah, so, and that stands up. But what I want to then do is cut round this, because I've got a little bit of that there, just hope you can see this nicely. I'm planning to now stick this, yeah, exactly where that is. All right, so I need to cut it out, bear with. And oh, so that is then going to go there. Okay, so it's going to be sticking exactly on there. So with a bit of glue, I will just try and do, I always grab a bit of scrappy paper or something like in my shifts, so we can pop that on there. I know I say this quite often, but the trick as well is then leaving it to dry. Okay, obviously for presentation purposes now I sort of have to hurry up the process, but I think that's one of my biggest, you know, because sometimes, I think when I first started, literally a few years ago, I haven't been done this forever and ever or anything, started a few years ago, and, you know, you do this, you do that, and it's almost like you want to get that card done and finished, you know, to produce the card, but sometimes trying to sort of, I suppose almost splattergut with some of the parts of the procedure, you end up ruining it, and it ends up practically having to go in the bin. Although I have learned that when you do a muck up, generally thing is, okay, so already we've got that on there. I will need to put a bit more glue on there. It's just moved a little bit. Okay, but this is where the beauty of actually, this is just one of these acrylic stamping blocks, ideal weight actually, so something like that putting on there. So what I'm going to do, hopefully it won't stick to my card, is get on with the next procedure. Right, so that's that, and that's there, and if I just leave that there. Now remember, we had this come out, So, like I say, this is reasonably a quick, simple card. This goes back on here. They've actually got little pads that they sort of stick on a little bit. But like I say, that was a bargain to be bought, and there are bargains to be had. So watch out for that, because you know, yes, maybe you might be a person that wants brand new stuff, but I love a bargain too. So anyway, right. So we've got this here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you. You might have already seen if you've been watching some of my other videos. This VersaFine pigment ink for fine detail is fine detail one. Onyx black, and it's so good for the finer details of things. Okay, so I think that's there's that, and there's also the one that you in you know, the sticky embossing is good as well. Anyway, these come from Card Magic, which is one of Craft Stash's one of their range. Lovely set. I don't know how well you can see. No special reason. Just wanted to say hi. Thank you for being my friend. I wish and miss you so much. Sent with love. But what I'm now going to try and do is, on your special day, best wishes today, tomorrow, and always. If they both fit, because I haven't actually done this bit. If they both fit, great. If they don't, I'll only do one. So these are literally, I say brand new. I've not actually used these ones off here. And when they're new, sometimes you can literally rub like a rubber over them, because they sometimes sort of come with their own, I suppose it's almost like their own packaging, or even pop a baby wipe over. So check out where it's going to go. So best wishes. Yep, I reckon that will fit there quite nicely, because this is going to be on the inside of the card, but obviously looking through. On your special day, best wishes today, tomorrow, and always. What I want to say, you could now put them on there, print it up, and hope that it all gets printed. So that's you know, if it was just the one on your special day, you could load it up. I mean, I could now print it like that, or stamp it up like that. But if you have got a stamping block, this will allow you, you know, I mean, if you're then going to make a few cards, brilliant for that too. So this is a stamping block. It's, you know, it's not something you have to have. If you are starting to invest, I think it's a thing that you'll find very useful. Okay, so all you do is pop whatever you're stamping to on there. There's a little dust bag you can go over there to sort of make sure you've got no other sort of greasy or anything on there, so it all sticks properly. So now you'd pop it like where you want it to be, because if you remember, this is actually going to be on the H. So I'm tempted to put it a little bit on the H too, because it will be inside the card. So it's going to be like that. On your special day, best wishes today, tomorrow, and always. Okay, so that, then you'd shut this down. Yeah. So then it's in exactly the right place. These are holding it where it needs to be. Now, with your VersaFine, yeah. I almost want to do it and show you, if it doesn't quite do, how by redoing it. So over we go. This little tool, which I think is like one of those ice hockey game things. I think it was about £3 off eBay. I did think it come from China or somewhere, so it took a while to come. But if you've got, you know, any sort of arthritic-y sort of hands or anything like that, and it gives it a very even coating of pressure. There we are. So that has done perfectly all right as far as I'm concerned. So, but I might just do it again, just to sort of darken up a bit, and I will be putting embossing powder on there. All right, so again, it's in the right place, bit of pressure there, yeah, and there we have. If you know we're making a few cards, you'll just do a few one after the other. So now what we need to do, this is where I keep my embossing powder, just it's not actually the best of seal. Pop it in here. This is clear embossing powder, extra fine. Oh, I hate grit. Okay, so literally just spread it on there. Okay, so that's got a nice coating. If you were doing a few of anything, because it's then wet when you've done, you know, the ink and a stamping, then pop your embossing powder and put it to one side, and then maybe use your heat gun and do them all in one go. Anyway, there we go. So that's that out of the way. Just to tell you what this is, although I haven't actually run out, as you can see, this is these. It's Wow embossing powder, clear gloss, super fine. I think the super fine is the way forward, purely because, you know, it is so fine, and it sort of gets where it needs to be. But this one, I'm not exaggerating if I say I've had this for years, you know, and probably, I reckon that's probably nearly half one of those full still. Okay, so and the trick as well, if you have the clear embossing powder, you don't have to buy lots of different colours. Yes, I've got the silver, I've got the gold, I think red, but you don't need all the different colours, because you can use whatever colours you might have stamped with or printed up. Anyway, right, now this is a bit of wood. It's just got that, you know, that sticky back that you could do your oven chips on or something, which I then either hold on. It just gives it a bit of pressure for me, a little bit of noise before the magic works. And okay, look at that. If I sort of show you, beautiful, isn't it? And that's quite intricate, isn't it? It's not missed anywhere. So honestly, they're not even that expensive. And this is the first one I've had of these since I've had this one. I've used some other ones, which I'm not going to name names, but I just think this is really good. You can also get the little tiny refills, the black ink, which you just, you know, make it nice and juicy again at some point. Okay, but always be careful, because once you've updated the ink in there, you know, once it's on your hands, you can put it on your card accidentally. So always be sort of really aware of where your hands have been at all times. Okay, so now this is going, if I just was to put that where that then was, oh, I've got some of that stuff on there. I hate grit. Okay, so that is going to go there, right? So what we would do, so that's going to be inside the card. It should be nicely in the right place. And let's just, you could now stick that down with a load of glue, but I'm going to make sure it's in the right place again. Some double-sided tape, that's not going anywhere then. Ooh, sticky scissors. I try and keep a pair of what I call sticky scissors, because if not, you end up basically mucking up all your scissors, and they all get this sort of residue. Okay, that'll come off with a little bit of petrol or something, or nail varnish remover even. But if you can sort of keep maybe down to one pair, you aren't mucking them all up. Right, okay. So find your ends. I could have done a pencil mark to make sure I know exactly where I want it to go. I mean, it's not the end of the world if it isn't quite in the right place, but I want it to be that when the card is shut, sort of flat, although once the card's there, it's stood up, isn't it? oh, this is pretty impressive stuff. But then finding the little end. Oh, I nearly want to say go make a cup of tea and come back, but no. Doesn't want to come up there. I haven't yet worked out how to actually edit my videos, so these are always real time, but I do try and sort of do some I've done, bits and pieces I've done earlier to make it so. If not, I'd hate to think you think it's like watching paint dry otherwise. As far as my topics, I've got lots of things in my head that I would like to sort of show you if you're interested in. But if you've got something you think, oh, can you do some cards on this, that and the other, embossing or pay anything, say, and leave me a comment. Leave me a comment if you fancy anyway. Yeah, I think that's about right. Just want to make sure I got all the bits I want off. Okay, that's where I would then hold that down a bit. So here we are. Quite a simple card. A bit of a wrinkle in there. I have to just put a little bit good. Okay, so that's lovely. Okay, it's not giving you a lot of room to sign, is it? But then that might be enough. But I've got a little tub of pretty little bows here. You could put a couple more hearts there in, say, the pale blue. I'm tempted to just maybe pop something like that on there. Could you silver? No. Hardly see that, can you? Let's just have a little look. Hang on. Some are better than others, aren't they? This blue, oh, it's a bit too bright. I think that's enough. Okay, so I would just stick that with some really strong glue on there. Let's have a little look what we got in some stronger glue. I haven't used this one for ages, so it might be not very cooperative in coming out. Whoop! Ooh, just wanted to make a mess. That was perfectly cooperative. Okay, I often store my glues downwards, so I suppose they're ready for the need. So I might just take a bit of that off. Yes, I want enough, but I don't want too much. Ooh, that looks like there's a bit too much on here now. Can't remember how this glue dries. Okay, so that's going, hang on, bit of scrappy paper underneath, she says. I don't know if I isn't there yet, so I don't stick to the wrong bit. So pop that under there. Now that's going 5-second rule. Good old bit of pressure on there. Okay. So there we have. Hope you like a lovely card. Again, my motto is actually less is more. I don't know what your opinions are. Sometimes you can just have too much on a card and think, no, don't like. Okay, so there we have on your special day. Okay, if you wanted to, you could put something else there to sort of keep it there if you wanted, but I just think the looseness of it is, oh, that's got to have a little bit more glue there, to be fair, just so it stands down. So anyway, till the next time, thank you very much for joining me. Leave me a comment, any particular sort of cards you'd like me to have a go with. By all means, leave me a message or something. And till the next time, thank you very much. Cheers.